Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, where today the vampires are gonna have a rough one. It's gonna be a bad day for them. Imagine the situation. Imagine that you're a vampire lord, you got your coffin just the way you like it, you're living in this spooky castle, in this haunted forest, there's like creepy will-o'-the-wisps all over the place, there's ghosts coming up out of the ground, you know, these like, your ruins and graveyards are situated just so. Everything is going great. And then, all of a sudden, out of the mountain pass, a bunch of anthropomorphized skinks riding dinosaurs, just a herd, a stampede of them, veritable stampede, comes down and just flattens all your stuff. How do you even deal with that? How do you prepare for something like that to happen? Well, we're going to find out if the vampire counts here were able to. Spoilers, no, they were not. So, I think we're not going to actually get into conflict with them this turn, right? Tiktaq'to has actually taken like a ton of damage. He needs to stop short and go into... Wait. Hold on a second. I have 51% of my movement range remaining. You need to have at least 50% to do this. Why is it not letting me... Well, that's very annoying. I need that replenishment. That's... Sometimes this game, it's like it doesn't want you to have fun. Alright, well then we'll move forward a little bit more, I guess. I mean, we'll be able to take on Helmengorst, even very injured. But this should have been a thing where we were able to replenish. Like, I very carefully moved. Just far enough to be able to replenish. Sometimes this game. Alright. The vampires are not an immediate they are not a right now, right this second kind of concern. We do have another thing happening here. Where's Krokgar? How far is Krokgar going to be able to make it this turn? Actually, quite far, although I would really love it if we could find a spot. Jesus, where is the end of the mountain pass area? Okay. Here. Krokgar can move to here. He needs to spend a turn in active replenishment. Zhufbar has a pretty small garrison. In fact, none of the remaining orc settlements are very strong. So I guess I'm not going to have Yarrick wait for him. And we'll just commit here. I definitely want to take Zhufbar first. And then it will be completely trivial to sweep the greenskins off the map after that. And Krepus, I think, he doesn't have any bonuses to his ambush ability, right? Yeah, we didn't take Ancient Cunning because he had other stuff he needed to do. So, ambush success chance here is not super high. We could move like this far, sorry, like right about here, and go into ambush mode, provided that we are able to do the things that our remaining amount of movement should allow us to do. I'm not really sure, like, I have no idea what these guys are doing. I guess I'm going to do that, not because I think that they will wander into the ambush, but because I want them to proceed as though I was not here. So I were not here. And then... this is the agent that's following these guys. Okay, and we don't want to go spending a ton of money, but we should probably push for upgrades in Mount Gunbad. We gotta get that gold mine up, right? Okay, I think we're good now. Let's hope that next turn is the turn where the dwarves agree to the military alliance, because we are actually in position to attack the vampires for the first time, I believe, with Tiktaq'to. So it would be nice if we could get that offer to join their war in exchange for a military alliance thing going. We'll have a little bit more positive reputation. As ever, we'll have a little bit more gold to play with. The court of Liberis is already at war with the vampires, I assume, because they are friends with the dwarves. So these armies are, presumably, headed straight for vampires. I gotta say, I would expect that the Vargulfs in Helmengorst's army could probably kill a whole lot of basic skeletons. Oh hey, Voldenhof just got raised. We can't quite see it, so I don't know who by. Who would raise it instead of taking it over for themselves? I guess the AI does this sometimes. And the Chaos Army can't be this far south. The Chaos Armies cannot inhabit settlements. They always burn them. It's probably... Oh, what is this? Peace treaty with Clan Na? Wait, who are you? When it zoomed to their current position, it just shows the southern border of Araby. I don't... Okay, sure. I have no idea who Clan Na is. Have we ever interacted with them before? Have I just silently been at war with a clan of Skaven for the entire game? Okay, and they would love a non-aggression pact if I would just give them 7,600 gold. No. What is going on with the AI right now? You know, it's early in the morning. I just sort of woke my computer up. Maybe it's feeling a little bit groggy. Making some weird decisions. Hasn't had time for whatever the digital equivalent of its early morning caffeine is. You know, I often watch a little bit of Day 9 in the morning, and I did not do that today. So maybe it's just missing Sean Plott's exuberance is the thing that usually sort of gets the cycles ticking. Alright, I'm very curious what this Puppets of Chaos Navy is going to do. I'm hoping that they will make landfall, that they will try to, like, attack that city right there. What is it, Kothik? Because that would give us a really easy opportunity to grind them between this army, or Kothar. No, I have no idea where they're going. Well, I will keep tracking them. Okay, I didn't bother to Warbeast focus. We got some mystery meat. Oh, I hate minus 25% campaign movement range for 4 turns. That's horrible. I guess it only applies to Yark, but still, that's horrible. In a drive to improve combat stamina across your armed forces, the High Quartermaster has been experimenting with new ration combinations. His latest concoction is a bowel-addling patty of horseflesh, pickled fish, and forest spider spinnerets, served between toasted discs of sweetened bread. They haven't a clue what they're eating, but the troops can't get enough. Army replenishment is up, but due to frequent toilet stops, movement range is down. Ew. Ew for a whole bunch of reasons. Okay, so we are, in fact, in range to just pounce on Helman Gorst while he is here and weakened. This is the moment that I would like to pull this trigger. No, sorry, not you guys. I want to talk to the dwarves about the trigger and the pulling of it on their enemies. They should want me to go to war with the vampires. We are at 352 positive reputation. But I will join your war against the vampire counts. Still low. Also, I will give you 113,000 gold. Still a no. Alright, well, Tiktaq'to doesn't have to commit this turn. Move a little bit closer. And then actually go into replenishment. And you get over there and stop them from doing the same. I need to replenish faster than them. He failed. Okay, well that's embarrassing. To be fair, I don't know exactly what hinder replenishment means against an army of the dead that is sustained entirely by magic. It was probably like a pretty tall order that we were giving him there. But I had faith, and he has disappointed me for the last time. Oh, it looks like Krokgar is not quite going to be able to reach Juthbar this turn. That's a shame. I would have liked to have him lead the attack. Just for the extra XP, because he still does not have his Carnosaur. Alright, well. It will totally overwhelm this battle. Really? They don't have any... Okay. We're gonna have to fight this manually because of the walls, aren't we? And let's do a quick save. I want to see what the actual auto-resolve damage is. So we have a massively overwhelming force. There's no way any of our units would take any meaningful damage, and we've demonstrated that numerous times. Yep, the auto-resolve kills a pretty advanced unit of skinks, and also the Bastillodon with the revivification crystal. So just in case you were wondering why I always manually resolve these, and I'll open this menu just the instant it will let me. I'm mashing escape right now. Yeah, just in case you were wondering why I always manually resolve these things, because somehow the Bastillodon with the revivification crystal was killed by the total lack of enemy units. Boy, I don't understand that at all. Like, when it kills a unit of skinks or something, you can at least imagine that the battle math was like, oh, and then the skinks will run into battle, but they'll be overwhelmed. They'll be so tired from climbing the wall. Like, there's at least a situation in there somewhere where those skinks could have died. There's no version of that where the Bastillodon dies unless you are trying to get it killed. You would have to run it in by itself and then just leave it there, and even so, I'm not sure that army could bring it down. Just a completely wild idea that I would somehow lose not just a dinosaur in that battle against those very weak troops, but a dinosaur whose whole deal is that it's extremely good at healing people. Yeah, just a real disappointment there. Okay, let's do it manually, even though it's not going to be interesting at all to fight. I apologize, everyone. See, they don't even have any black orcs or anything here. They have 3 units of Night Goblin archers, and to be fair, Night Goblin archers are their good archers. They still don't do any damage, really, but they have, like, poison and stuff. There's a single unit of black orcs. They got some cavalry that will not matter even a tiny little bit. Theoretically, these guys are anti-large and armor-piercing. Theoretically, a bunch of these could bring down a Bastillodon, I guess, but they don't have enough to reasonably be a threat. So, there's no gate in the middle. Reinforcements are coming in, sort of in the middle. Of course they are. 18's fine. And there's safe zones on the sides. Yeah, we're just going to do that thing. I do like dropping the rocks, to be clear. I've been talking a little bit about how I don't think that this army is as fun to play, this faction is as fun to play as some of the ones we've done in the past, and I stand by that. But I do think that the dinosaurs are fun. I do think that the rock dropping is fun. It's just that it's a little too effective, and so it's always good. I'm actually going to have these guys... We're going to do that thing that we used to do, where we start the flyers on a different side to try to get the arrow coverage thinned out a bit. You guys get up here, we'll figure it out later. Okay, so they don't really have anything dangerous except for... Honestly, it's just the Night Goblin archers that we care about. None of their ground units are a threat to us at all. They have a single unit of black orcs. And while black orcs are good, certainly, a single unit of them is not going to get anything done. I don't really have a plan with these guys. Just get close to the wall and we'll figure it out. Okay. So, big group of flyers. I guess let's just descend on the archer groups one by one. Sure, we're doing Lord Croak's thing here. Yeah, so you can see, like, at the extreme edge of map range, the tower attack radius is pretty wide. The tower attack angle, I should say. It's not really a radius. Okay, let's get the salamanders. No, I want a less long formation, a wider, shorter formation. There we go, like that, where you can maybe actually shoot at somebody. And then we have, for some reason, a Bastillodon in the middle of the flyers over here. Let's just control group these guys for easier control. Alright, so we don't even really need to be in a big hurry with the rocks. We have so many flyers that we can We can break enemy units down very, very quickly with just the fire leech bolas. Would love it if they would... Yeah, okay, there we go. Finish breaking them. Now get the spider riders. So spider riders are mounted cavalry. These guys are a cool idea. I've never found them to be very effective. I haven't played orcs in a long time, though. Maybe it's different now. I'm sure there's been some rebalancing. It always kind of felt to me like the orcs were... I don't want to say a whipping boy army necessarily, but like it felt to me like the orcs were kind of on the weak side on purpose. They never seemed to make a lot of changes aimed at fixing the weaknesses in the core mechanics or anything the way they have with a lot of the other factions. All right, I'll give these spider riders this. They're doing some actual work as far as preventing me from getting a good rock drop on them. There it is. Okay. As these night goblins are only temporarily broken, but that's fine. Maybe you guys could get the rest of the way over here. Wow, they, that first volley really did a lot of damage. Alright, we'd like to see them permanently break. Let's kick the door in now. Yeah, both of you get over here and open the door. I mean, we should see the battle come to an end any second now here. I'd like to see that, that skull so that we don't get this situation again. Show me permanent break. Okay. Now go finish those two off. You guys presumably are... Okay, the last of the spiders just ran off the map. Okay, just back to the center then. Yeah, this battle's going to be over before we get the gates open. And we never should have had to fight it in the first place. The massively overwhelming force that can completely ignore the presence of walls should have been good enough. So the Black Orcs are the only thing that's an actual danger at all. Like, nothing here is a danger in the sense of it might cause us to lose, but the Black Orcs are the only units they have left that could do any meaningful damage to anything we have. So I do want to kill those, but they're probably not the best Fire Leech Bola fodder. We definitely want to do rock drops there. Alright, so we'll get on the biggins, and people with rocks can come over here and rock. We'll do rock rotations. Oh, this is perfect. Get over there while those guys are still mixed in. Absolutely good enough. I'm sure, like, as soon as our dinosaurs actually get through, we're not going to hesitate at all, the way we sometimes do outside the gates, to let the flyers finish their job. We are not in a situation here where we have to, Oh. So part of the thing that's frustrating about the open the gates and cause my units to run through, even if they don't have orders to run through strategy that we see the AI often do, is that when they open the gate stops existing as an entity for a moment, and it makes any unit that had an order to attack the gate loses that order, because the gate no longer exists for a second. So you can see, our dinosaur was just sitting calmly outside of it rather than doing any damage, which is extremely annoying. Come on, guys. You can wind your way out of the big tangle of flying units. Flying units probably ought to have extremely low collision sizes. I bet the collision size of the unit, unfortunately, is tied to its hitbox. I don't know why they think that the goods... You're being attacked by an enemy that's entirely reliant on explosive weapons. Why would you just group up as tightly as possible? How could that possibly be the right solution to that problem? Can't help but notice that gate's still up. What's going on with the gate? Are we good here? Okay. Just about done. I have one dude standing on top of the gate, watching as the dinosaurs tear at it. Okay. All the big smashy dinosaurs through first. I mean, let's not mess around here. All the big smashy dinosaurs through to their lord immediately. And then we can have, like, a bunch of melee run in and finish off these guys. That should be completely trivial. A bunch of melee just sort of run through in this direction. You know, just get in there. Make stuff happen. Krokgar should get in there. Lord Croak should get in there. He's not even really going to get to blow anybody up. Yeah, I'm 100% confident with telling Krokgar to just charge through any enemies he might find. Man's combat stats are extraordinary. Actually, Krokgar, go kill this shaman. He thinks he can escape. Show him the error of his thought. The error of his thought? He's an orc. He didn't think that. He feels he can escape. He doesn't think anything. He's an orc shaman. Let's try your Hand of Gods. Let's see this thing in action. Okay, that was reasonably cool. Got him. You got him. Oh, I was hoping he was going to kill him in a single hit. Oh, he totally did kill him in a single hit. It just took him a moment to die. Alright, that ought to be worth some extra XP, right? They really have to fix the auto-resolver. It wouldn't be such a big problem if the battles... Like, part of what's cool about the game is the scale of the battles. But the load in and the load out and the setup time and the time, you know, fiddling around with orders and stuff, we spent a surprising amount of real time there on a thing that absolutely did not need to happen. That was their last walled settlement. They just have the two other settlements. Unfortunately, sort of awkward to access. Like, they're in very much the wrong direction for us. I think we'll have Yarick go play cleanup, and Krokgar's army can just push forward into Vampire Town. Or do I want to do that the other way around? Okay, we got a bunch of equipment I don't care about. Lord Croak seems to level up a lot faster than Krokgar does. Do we want to reduce his wound recovery time? I don't know. I don't think it matters. We're not likely to lose Krokgar, or we're not likely to lose this army anytime soon. I don't care about this at all, but I do care about 20 extra winds of magic, so we will head in that direction. Alright, let's finish capping off. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Yarick should be the one to push forward to Castle Drakenhof. Let's send Krokgar over to... Ooh, hey, Ozheg the Slaughterer has like an almost real army. What do I think here? Do I think I want to... I probably don't want to just run out into the open. That's not optimal. Let's see. He has a Doom Diver and some real cavalry. I'd prefer to go at him, you know, 40 on 20. I think I'll just have Krokgar hang out here in reinforcement range. Absolutely no reason to engage in a fair fight. The thing about a fair fight is that you can lose it. I don't expect that we would have any chance of losing that fight, but it will go faster if we bring all of our bodies. Alright, let's hope the dwarves come around soon. Because we're going to have to attack these vampires at some point here. I would like to do it now. Every moment that we're not attacking Carrick Cadron, that army that's in Carrick Cadron is generating additional troops. But I don't want to lose access to the little bit of extra bargaining strength we get from being able to declare war on the dwarves' enemies. And I think the vampires might be the only people that they're at war with right now that we're not at war with. They might be at war with the wood elves, but even if they are, I don't want to be. Because then we actually have to start paying attention to Skaven Blight. I'm a little bummed out that Warzog ran away rather than fighting us, because I wanted to get the trait for defeating him. I don't even know what it is. I just like collecting all of those legendary Lord Defeat traits. Oh, you guys are not in fact at war with the dwarves. I am not joining an alliance with the elves. You're not at war with the dwarves, but I know they still consider you to be enemies, and for good reason. I'm guessing that the thing with Clan Gnaw, where it zoomed the camera down to the center of the southern desert of Araby when we talk to them, is just like we have never known where any of their settlements are, and so it zoomed the camera to my capital. But if we've never known where any of their settlements are, and I don't think I've ever even seen their name before, how did I end up at war with them? I don't know, I guess the AI just declares war on you all the time for no reason in situations where they have literally no possible gain from it. It must have just been one of those. A little concerned about the Tillians getting control of Castle Drakenhof. The AI battles always use the auto-resolver, so the AI has to bring very overwhelming force to be able to win a battle against a walled settlement. And you can avoid that a little bit. Like, if you actually hang out and build siege towers, it reduces the auto-resolve strength of the walls. Man, you know what, though? Okay, they're going to Alhaik? Why would they go to Alhaik? Why would they pick a major settlement with walls? And I don't know. We can definitely lie in wait for them there, though. Raise or sack Oakenhammer for a small amount of gold. Nah, I'm alright. I think we'll just take it over. What I was about to say is, there's definitely a problem in Total War Warhammer where it's like extremely difficult to lose settlements to the AI once you have walls around things. And it kind of makes the game really easy. They could probably fix that almost immediately with like very little work by just really lowering the auto-resolve value of walls. I think actually lowering the auto-resolve value of walls might fix a whole bunch of different problems that they're having. Still red, what if we offer 135? This is such a bribe. This is a very huge and powerful bribe. Still red. And they made a military alliance with everyone else in the entire world. Alright, I don't think we can sit around any longer. I think we gotta make our move here. I'm just trying to curry favor there. Helmengorst's replenishment is not going to matter, because we are going to hit him now. Yeah, we don't need to do any of this stuff, so we just need to continue accumulating money. I thought I saw on the map that Grimgor Ironhide was around here somewhere. Briefly while we were doing diplomacy, but I guess not. Okay, it looks like we actually might be able to execute that attack. Unfortunately, it's hard to tell because the moment I mouse over the army, the tooltip gets in the way. Yeah, I think we might be able to actually hit these guys this turn. Let's have Yarrick ride out into support position. And we could delay on the vampire thing. We do still have some orcs to clean up. Really? You can't reach that, even though the little yellow arrow goes all the way. Yeah, there's no red on the ground indicating that it would require a second turn of movement. I think the problem might be that Yarrick's in his way, but Yark can't move to a position that isn't in the way and is still in reinforcement range, I don't think. Try that. Yeah, it's so hard to see. Okay, there's a tiny little bit of red, indicating that it would take a second turn's move to do this. Well, we're very, very close to this orc now. He's just going to fall back to Carrick Dromar, but that's okay. We'll take Oakenhammer next turn, and then this'll be fine. Let's just get a garrison building up at Jufbar, and we really don't need Cold One caves. That is not a thing that has to be here. Oh. And I may as well build a growth building there. Okay, the armies of the Court of Liberis can replenish in our territory, since we're properly allied, but it's not gonna matter. These troops are total garbage and will be completely destroyed by any even reasonably modern army. Alright, you know what? I'm not afraid of the vampires. I guess we'll just hang out and replenish again. I really do want to be able to make this deal, and I think that having the ability to declare war on the vampires as part of the deal is going to be important. Let's see if we can remove some dudes from this army while we're waiting. Okay, nice. One caster out. Unfortunately, they do still have another one. Alright, well, we'll kill Azhag the Slaughterer next turn. It's possible he'll try to underway move away. Every time you execute a move in the underway stance, there's a chance that any armies near your starting and ending positions, and possibly also along the whole path of the move, will intercept and get to attack you. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen here. If he goes into normal walk mode, he can just walk away from us, but let's hope he's not smart enough to do that. Especially since there's no retreat from an underway battle. If we beat him during an underway move, he will be actually completely destroyed. He's a legendary lord, so he would come back, but it would take him 5 turns to do so, and I have a feeling that his faction is not going to exist anymore in 5 turns. Man, if they would just march mode to a place where they weren't in the mountain pass, they'd replenish a lot faster. So part of the problem we're having with the dwarves is that they feel like they don't need us. Now, hey, we got that underway interception. For some reason, we didn't get it with both armies, which we absolutely should have. I think we can still take this, though. It's going to be a harder fight for sure. Black Orcs are not a joke, and we don't have a ton of infantry to intercept them with. But we should be able to, using the flying units, burn down their goblin troops almost immediately. We can get rid of the Doom Diver. Yeah, let's go for this. I think we can do this. We have a couple of good dinosaurs. It's a shame Yarrick is not actually a very powerful lord yet. I mean, his blue line buffs are good and valuable. He's just not a very powerful battle lord yet. This will help, though. You know, maybe I should have declined here in the hopes of maybe having Krokgar also intercept, because it would be better for us to get the XP on Krokgar, I think. We got to be able to do better than 5. Okay, so I pulled a little bit. I think we actually lost total magic there. Like, we went up from 5 to 9 in the active pool, but we probably lost more than 4 points from the bar. So, these very long, narrow corridors, I think favor us pretty strongly. I'm just going to have our flyers get over here and do the thing. And then the Doom Diver has a range of a lot, but nowhere near this whole battlefield. So I think I don't want to leave the flyers up there by themselves necessarily. We should definitely move forward some. Let's call it like right here, maybe. We'll set you guys up there. We'll set you guys up I want to set up just in front of the big dinosaurs. And then that's a little far forward. Get our melee in front of that. I want to take advantage of the slope so that we can easily fire over the melee's heads. Okay. This is probably going to benefit from a little bit of fast forward here at the beginning. Alright, so we have the Doom Diver and 2 units of Night Goblin Archers to look out for. And obviously I want to be conservative with my rocks where possible. So the first Doom Divers. Oh, I suppose they do also have spellcasters that we have to be wary of. Or a spellcaster, rather. Well, there's one rock dropper down. Okay, so the first thing we care about is the Night Goblins. We probably all just zero in on one unit of Night Goblins, try to temporarily break them as fast as possible, then do the same to the other. And then once we've got them both on the run, we can come back and fight the Doom Divers. I'm going to try to get beyond the Doom Diver here. We're going to try not to spend any rocks during the part where we're dealing with their melee, because I want to use all my rocks on the Black Orcs. It's going to take a significant number of them to do meaningful damage. Just try to make it hard for them to get a good beat on you. We have the benefit of being able to just fly around to the other side of them and force them to turn their whole formation around. Well, that's nice. The units of the units of archers are intermingling, and thus make it easy for us to fight both of them at the same time. I'm surprised they haven't broken and run off the map yet. This positioning is really great. Like, the second they go white flag, they're going to disappear, though. We won't have to spend a lot of time permanently breaking them. Okay. Let's now do that to the other ranged. And yeah, they're going to start marching some of their melee forward, and we're going to get a good salamander drop on them. Okay, actually, come over here. Wait, no, all of you. All of you. Come over here. So, I mean, they're doing some damage to us with their magic. We're definitely going to come out of this with some bruises. Just trying to make sure that we're not in a position where the Doom Divers can be firing back, make them have to continually reorient. Okay, you can see the dinosaurs are already shooting at their melee. Okay, Doom Divers permanently broken. Let's finish permanently breaking the lizard, or the archers. And then we're gonna fly out here and help with this. We'll let the rest of these slow units can come and catch up with us at their leisure. Actually, I guess a lot of the units that are still back here are cavalry and will catch up with us pretty quickly. Yeah, those archers still aren't permanently broken, huh? Well, we'll chase them off the edge of the map. That's fine. Make sure its source is on the outside. They're about to enter salamander range. And are you guys done with those archers? Okay, cool. Time to return to the battle. Alright, Yorick does not have the best spells in the universe, and he does not have Arcane Conduit. But Soul Quench is upgraded all the way. Let's try some upgraded Soul Quenches. Let's see how good these are. Shoot this into the middle of a unit of Black Orcs and see what happens to them. Okay, that's actually pretty good damage now, especially considering how low the cost of that is. Alright, I would rather have the salamanders focus on getting the large enemies down. Oh, that's right, the thunderous one needs to be, like, up here to have an effect. I just forget how short his range is. The ancient stegodons are not so much about being a siege weapon. Yeah, I'm not worried about their Oh, they got Night Goblin lunatics coming at us here. I'm not too worried about them doing real damage to my Sauruses. We're likely to do more damage to our Sauruses than they do. Flyers are coming. They'll get here eventually. Alright, who is up here who's not terribly heavily armored? Because Wind Blast is going to be bad against the Black Orcs. But, like, these Night Goblins will suffer. Throw one of those out. We got to try to lead them a little bit, of course. Alright, let's make sure the Salamanders do not actually chase those guys. I suppose we can just have the Salamanders turn and start firing on the Black Orcs. Try to soften them up as they approach. Wow, that was actually really good damage. Alright, Yarrick, you're earning your keep. Never mind, they came back. Get them. How dare they? These skinks are definitely in trouble. This is the side we're going to commit the dinosaur to. Alright, so let's figure this out. Salamanders. I do think we want to actually have them try to finish this off. As long as it doesn't cause them to run in front of everybody, it's probably worthwhile, because those boar boys actually are going to be able to do some pretty significant damage if I let them. Let's drop an upgraded Foz protection right here. Armor and melee defense for these troops. You guys, I guess, just run forward into this, and then we have rock drops, right? I'm just going to have this guy commit to melee. Just get in there and... What about this dinosaur? Should we run this dinosaur up for melee? Probably, right? Stegodons are actually extremely good melee combatants. It's the Bastillodons you kind of want to keep back. Alright, red-crested skinks are armor-piercing. They have frenzy. They should be reasonably good at killing black orcs, although they will also die pretty quickly if they are targeted specifically. Alright, rock drops. Wow, the salamanders kept running forward despite the fact that they were already in firing range. That's a little strange. Definitely not what they should be doing. Right, I need another soul quench. Upgraded soul quench on black orcs seems to actually be very effective. Alright, can we... Yeah, if we're careful about this, we can take up a position where we're not really going to do damage to our own troops. Something actually come to a stop here. Don't want a lot of momentum involved. Alright, the salamanders have been a huge pain in my ass. We're going to tell them to attack here, and I'm going to put them in guard mode, so no chasing. Cool if you guys would just get this done, because we got problems. I need to be able to focus elsewhere. Now I'm just going to have the dinosaur run through the Sauruses. So, over here we're seeing that thing I was talking about. The black orcs are taking damage from the red-crested skinks, but they're also killing them very quickly. The black orcs will, without question, kill faster. So we need to tilt the battle in their favor a little bit. Okay, so here comes some chariots. I'm not too worried about this. Oh, we had another unit of orc boar boy biggins. Yeah, they haven't really set up their situation very well for all the cavalry charging they're trying to do here. I think I'm going to go Foz Protection Overcast on this side now. Trying to see if I can get this. Yeah, see that group of Sauruses at the bottom right of the spell area? Wanted to try to catch them with it as well. And unfortunately, we were not able to kill their other wizard. So we are going to have to just endure some spell casting. It's a real shame. We're starting to break the guys on this side pretty badly, though. Remember that the dinosaurs, in addition to just being really good at fighting, are they cause terror. So units that are in combat with them have to make constant checks whether or not they are forced out of the battle to flee. So dinosaurs help us hold the battle not just by killing, but also by very seriously disrupting the enemy formation. Alright, you three are going to be needed over here. I think this side is mostly over. The Night Goblin fanatics came back. Let's make sure that the Fire Leech bolas are going where they need to go. And also there are rocks. There are rocks yet to drop. I guess actually right here is the more important place, where the Black Orcs are still gathered. I'm actually pretty surprised by how well the red-crested skinks are holding. I can't afford the overcast. Well, I'm just going to give a single target one on the skinks then, because they need a little bit of love. I'm going to withdraw them, actually. And can we grab some of the units on this side of the battle? Gotta get the red-crested skinks out of there. Sadly, no rest for the Black or for the Sauruses. This is like their whole deal. Okay, you guys, are you focused on the most important targets? There is a unit of healthy Black Orcs over here. That needs to change. And our Blessed Skink Skirmishers have not been able to fire over top of our units quite the way I was hoping they would. Should we? Actually, we should probably have these two focus on the Boar Chariot unit. Let's try to burn that down real quick. Boar Chariots aren't all that dangerous. Chariots in general I don't think are great, and that's mostly just due to some problems with the way the Total War engine, like, not problems necessarily, not that there's, like, implementation issues, but just that the way the engine works is not very conducive to chariot-type units. Like, they get stuck in melee too easily, and they're generally not designed to survive in melee for very long, if at all. So you see a lot of, with chariot units, you see a lot of them charging into melee and then just getting completely murdered. They're not able to do their ride through the enemy's thing very often. Okay, there is one healthy unit of enemy cavalry remaining. And at this point, I think we're doing pretty well. Let's start refocusing the flyers. Oh, shoot, sorry. You guys are just hanging around not doing much because you don't have any ammo. Don't dive into melee. Okay, never mind. Everything's good. Yeah, it's definitely the toughest orc army that we've faced, I think. A Pyrrhic victory. I don't know. I guess I kind of see what you're saying. The really important parts of the army survived without taking any major losses, though. I would be comfortable using this army as reinforcements right now. So that doesn't feel Pyrrhic to me, even though I guess the numbers do support that. That's pretty good, though. So Ozhag the Slaughterer is off the map for 5 turns, which will be long enough. I don't remember what trait you get. I seem to remember the trait for defeating Ozhag being not a very good one. There are some legendary lords that you, like, almost want to hunt down because their defeat traits are so good, but I don't think he's one of those. Yeah, 30% magic resistance. Not really that impressive. He's like an orc version of the Lich King, I think. He's got his crown of sorcery, which is a magic hat that some kind of actual magical being is dwelling inside of. Military access. The thing is, you can see here they have a negative diplomatic modifier for us having treaties with dwarves. If we take a treaty from these guys, even one that isn't really detrimental to the dwarves in any way, the dwarves will give us a similar negative modifier. And I'm just not interested in that. Why do the Wood Elves even want military access from me? There's no way I have anything that they need to move through. The only thing we own in their area is Skaven Blight, which is tiny and, like, tucked all the way in that corner. Like I said, the AI is just... there's a lot of strange decision-making going on here. Okay, so I think the Chaos Forces are trying to land at Alhaik. We're going to try to go right outside of Alhaik and go into ambush mode, and if they walk up on land and fall for the ambush, we'll get to hit them with Krepus's army plus the garrison of Alhaik. And Krepus has a bunch of, like, actual good dinosaurs and stuff, so this should be... that should be an entertaining battle. Why have two of your armies ride all the way up to the gates of Castle Drakenhof and then just turn around? It is often helpful in war, in strategy games in general, to be able to develop an idea of what your enemy is thinking. So, I suppose, behaving unpredictably is beneficial in that it prevents that from happening, even if the actions you're taking themselves are not beneficial? Sort of? I'm grasping here. Okay, the latest spawning of Saurus warriors appear to be far more belligerent than any you remember in recent times. You know, I like melee attack. Attack is a form of defense in that things that are dead rarely deal very much damage. Okay, we got a Talisman of Protection off of Azhag. That's pretty cool. Good attacker is a fine trait. So, I think we probably just want to have Yarrick fall back to Jufbar for the moment. Go and recover, lick your wounds. I think it is probably the case that Krukgar can handle these last two little settlements. Do I want to take Oakenhammer? I think I want to go for the other one first. Because it's so out of the way. Like, Krukgar can run over here and handle this, while Yarrick heals and then handles Oakenhammer. And there is an Orc agent attempting to impose his will on us. Uldomorin, do something! Oh god, it's Griebitz, run away! Uldomorin has no chance of doing any damage to Griebitz and is just extremely likely to get himself killed. Yes, flee. Flee this way, the maximum distance. Maybe this agent from the court will be able to handle Griebitz? We sure as hell can't. Hextuck is the one who keeps managing to somehow defeat him. Wow, I really cannot hinder this guy's replenishment. We just lost 3 coin flips in a row there. Okay, I suppose we ought to check in with the dwarves. As you can tell from the fact that I didn't do this immediately at the beginning of the turn, I'm not feeling super positive about it.
Friends of the Dowie.
So, oh, that's right. You can, if you don't have a term on the table, you can only offer them like weird preset amounts for some reason. Okay, this is a huge amount of money. You would be crazy not to take this. Hold on a second. Really? Their likelihood of success is only moderate on me offering to join their war? What? Okay, whatever. Oh, I think I see what it is. I think the reason that Grimgor Ironhide appears here is just that he's their faction leader. He's not currently out on the map, so he is appearing as though he was at their capital. Okay. All this money. They'll know, huh? Well, we'll get there eventually. I have never had this tactic completely fail. Eventually, it will be enough money. But who knows how long that's going to take. Put one of these up, help out with our replenishment as well as our growth. And let's have Krepus jump these Chaos dudes. They've put themselves in a little bit of a position. Oh no, they put themselves in a position where I can't actually attack them. Despite the fact that they couldn't see my army. They just happened to stand just outside of my movement range. Okay, am I as close as I can get here? Alright, what we can do is attack them with the garrison of Alhaik, with Krepus showing up as reinforcements. So, the garrison of Alhaik has an ancient Stegodon in it, which is pretty cool. We got some Croxagors. We haven't actually seen Croxagors. They're not great. in my opinion. But they do bash dudes real hard. They have a bonus versus infantry that is considerable. So their mediocre melee attack is like pretty good melee attack against infantry. You can see their melee defense is extremely low, and they're just going to get shredded by these armor-piercing chaos dudes. They have a bunch of units of knights. They have no ranged aside from the hell cannon. So the do I want to do this? I'm debating whether I want to just hold off and have Krepus engage the battle next turn. I think we'll be more successful with the flyers being on the field earlier. Now, let's go ahead and do it. We would have won via auto-resolve there, and actually it probably, like, because we don't particularly care about Krepus's units, but we have plenty of time to rebuild them, it wouldn't have been the end of the world to take an auto-resolve that killed some stuff, but we haven't really gotten to fight Chaos yet. So this will be at least a little bit interesting to watch. Unfortunately, as is the case with the orcs, a lot of this breaks down to just heavy infantry walking forward slowly. So in that sense, I guess it's maybe not going to be hugely fascinating. Oh, really? Krepus is coming in from the side. That's true. That is roughly where he was. Let's gamble. Really? Okay, well. Let's start with the Stegodon over here. I think we're gonna try to line up on this side and just meet up with Krepus and present a united front. So the 2 units of skirmishers can actually start right next to the reinforcement spot. Temple guards are tough, and they're armor piercing, so they'll be good at fighting the Chaos Warriors. The skink priests in the garrisons don't start with a pterodon mount, which is a little bit of a bummer. And we have here a Saurus Scar veteran. Unfortunately, the Saurus Scar veteran probably isn't actually going to be very powerful because of the fact that he's so low level. So we're going to put the skinks right in front of all the other troops in the hopes of getting a couple of actual decent volleys of javelins off as the enemy approaches, and then we can fall back. Chaos dudes are not particularly fast, although their cavalry are good. Chaos Knights are, in my opinion, some of the best cavalry in the game. They're no Black Knights, but they're very good. So you can see they're a 44-point charge bonus. After their charge, they are just incredibly powerful for about 10 seconds. And we have this Holy Stella army ability from our defensive fortification building. Let's remember to use that. It's just a decrease in attack effectiveness. Actually, it only affects... Okay, never mind. This isn't going to do anything at all. They don't have any ranged units. All right, what we probably want to do really with this is just in formation. Just try to get over here as quickly as possible. So what spells does this guy know? He knows Crows and Wild Form, and they're not going to be the upgraded versions of those things. As Krepus doesn't have a wizard, right? So that's all the spellcasting we have access to. Mostly what we're waiting for here is for all of the flyers to get on the table. Okay, you guys. Hell Cannon, immediately. There's nothing in this world that is more important than the removal of the Hell Cannon. Okay, so let's try to form some kind of intelligent front line now. Now that we actually have access to all of our stuff. Let's say we would like the sources to form up like this, with Temple Guard at the end of the line, because they are the least vulnerable to a bad charge. Although, I mean, Saurus Spears can certainly take a hit. And then everybody else can kind of form up behind that, and we can figure it out from there. Let's have all of you run over here. Mostly I'm concerned with getting the units of... Actually, the position he was already headed toward was fine. Mostly I'm concerned with getting the units of this army over into positions where we can figure things out over here. Carnosaur should not be in front. And all of our various excellent dinosaurs should also just kind of get behind the big Linosauruses, and as the enemy approaches, we will figure it out. Scar Veteran and Red Crested Skink Chief, everybody get back here. Okay. Alright, the most important thing is getting rid of this. The Hell Cannon is a... Yeah, you see how it moves like that and has eyes? This is not an object, it is not a thing that was built. It is a living creature. It is a demon that vomits the flaming souls of the damned. Because the Chaos Army is just like that. Everything about them is just like that. So the projectiles can turn in the air because they're intelligent, and they do a ton of damage. There's a reason that the Hell Cannon only gets a single cannon per unit, and that's that if there were two of them, they'd be unstoppable. The other bad news here is that the little dudes with the big hats... Oh no, they don't even really... Okay, not all of them have big hats. These Chaos Dwarves here are unbreakable and actually very tough. So this won't be over until either the Hell Cannon itself is broken, which might happen, or we've actually killed every single one of the Chaos Dwarves. They will never break, they will never run. It's rough. It's a rough thing ahead of us here. Alright, and the Chaos Knights are coming right in for the dinosaurs. They know what their target is. Yeah, they're going to try to catch us before we can finish moving in, and I think that they're definitely right to do that. That's the smart move. If we can just get a little closer, the salamanders are going to be able to do a lot of damage here. Probably ought to turn all of you guys on there. So they want the ancient salamander. That's what's happening. I think they're likely to get him because sauruses are really slow. Oh, back up, back up. Oh god, he got completely surrounded by them. Oh, he's really big though. He actually just pushes through. You guys need to widen. Do not leave that gap. Alright, stick on him. Don't let him get away. We gotta get as many salamander shots into these ranged units as we can. So the Arc of Sotek... Okay, it's a point-blank AoE. So every 60 seconds, 10 seconds of point-blank poison. I guess we may as well cast our Holy Stella. Here we can reduce the missile damage. I don't think an accuracy reduction does anything to a Hell Cannon because the projectile can just steer if it is aimed wrong. You guys need to form up like this. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with all of their ranged here, but we're going to be ready for it. Okay, the Bastillodon with the Arc of Sotek can probably hold them in place a little bit. So you can see what I was talking about. This is a pretty badass chariot unit, as chariots go. It ran into some tier 2 infantry, got stuck, and now is getting torn apart and will have no further effect on the battle. Chariot units are just not good in Total War. Or in Total War Warhammer, I can't speak to the other games. So, the thing we're most concerned about after that is, of course, the Halberdiers. The normal Chaos Warriors are very tough, but they don't have attacks that are significantly armor-piercing, and they don't have any anti-large or anti-infantry or anything. They're just really badass. They're basically just really, really good sauruses. So the halberd ones are a danger to our dinosaurs and also are mostly armor-piercing, and you can see them keeping a real close eye over here, because the moment those guys are done with their... with the Chaos thing, we need them to come back, or the Hell Cannon. We need them to come back over here and drop rocks. Alright. The Wizard has Wissen's Wild Form. I'm going to Wild Form up these Temple Guards. These must be the Temple Guards that were supposed to get over here. They just got caught by a Chaos Chariot unit, and then some Chaos Spawn on top of that. Chaos Spawn are these things. They may just look like kind of a weird blob of teeth and flesh. That's because that's what it is. Look, their tongue. Their tongue has teeth coming out of it. Ugh. These guys are good killers, but unarmored and honestly very, very weak defensively. We can burn them down pretty fast. I'm gonna have the javelins. Now that they've actually made it to safety, let's have them set up in a better position to throw javelins over. The Ancient Stegodon, how much damage? Okay, your missiles do a huge amount of damage, actually. 8 shots per volley. Okay, so not a huge amount of individual damage. Armor-piercing melee with a pretty significant bonus versus infantry on a huge amount of damage. We just really need to make sure that our dinosaurs don't get halberded. Halberded. You know what I'm trying to say. The Carnosaur can probably get it on this. The cavalry won't be able to disengage from him either because he's faster than they are. Carnosaurs are great. Alright, yeah, just give these guys some defense here. I don't really want to break formation too much. Alright, stop them. Don't let them get over there. I do like the way the Sauruses leap into battle. You can see him leave the ground. Even from the air, it's pretty obvious. And we're going to use that. We're going to lose that unit of Temple Guards. But they managed to kill the Chaos Spawn by themselves, pretty much, so that's cool. The javelins are flying. We're doing our best here. And I'm reluctant to engage these Temple Guards. This unit of Sauruses can kind of move forward. What I want to get here is a little bit of a wraparound, right? Alright, focus on them. You should also focus on them. And then this is probably the time to start moving up the second line melee. Krepos himself is vulnerable to death, so I obviously want to be careful with him. The Saurus Scar Veteran, on the other hand, is a garrison troop. His life is meaningless. It's even more imaginary than the rest of our, video game units here. Okay. The Hell Cannon itself is dead. I don't care about the rest of the siege crew. Get back over here. We've done some good, important work there. We permanently broke that unit of Chaos Chariots. We're very close to a permanent break on these Chaos Knights. So I think we can let the Carnosaur finish that job. We need to turn these guys around. And the question is, do I relocate them to this side? I probably do. Never mind. There is no question. I want the salamanders over here. You guys spread thin to get ready to defend them. And we're going to put the Croxagores up on this side as well. I want real cover for these salamanders because we can get rid of the rest of the knights. And our own knights now have an open side to ride out of. I think this is what we're gonna get some rotation over here. You guys try to move into that position. Carnosaur is on the Chaos Knight problem. I especially like that because he can make it back. Oh, right. We have an Engine of the Gods, don't we? Oh, and they're all so extremely engaged. Where do we want to do this? How about right there? I think that's going to be real good. You guys can back up a little bit if you want to just get out of the way. Oh my god. Okay, re-engage. So yeah, that's very good. The second charge of that is going to be pretty... Oh, ooh. Let's hope that it slows down a little bit before it hits the rest of our guys. Yeah, that is a shattering amount of damage. Holy crap. Okay, as soon as that's done, we can move these sources forward. We get a little bit of a surround going here. Alright, hit him in the flank. Okay. So, the salamanders have a nice shot here. Remember, the Ancient Salamander's not doing as much damage, but he is making them more more flammable. So, I expect this to go down pretty quickly. I'm gonna have these Croxagores. No, you know what? They're gonna stay right where they are. Let's not get too fancy here. We do need to keep defense up. And it is time for the rocks. So these guys are about as heavily armored as Black Orcs, so I was not really expecting the rocks to be all that effective. It's actually kind of remarkable what a good job they did. Alright, rocks in this part of the conflict. I think we got him. That Engine of the Gods charge was huge, way bigger than I thought it was going to be. We're not going to need my cavalry. The whole idea was to have them, run out here and then do a back charge, but I don't know that that's going to be necessary. Okay, you chase those guys all the way off the map. Where's the Chaos Lord? Is he actually in combat? The Carnosaur's job is to find him and resolve that. And then Engine of the Gods guy still has a pretty significant cooldown. Let's have the Ancient Stegodon, and the Bastillodon needs to wade into conflict as well, right? But this front is pretty much won, thanks to the magic of the Engine of the Gods. So yeah, really, they don't have a lot left here. You guys don't feel you have a good fire over angle? Alright, let's try to have the Croxagores fall back a little bit. I don't want them to completely release the Chaos Knights, I just want to try to open up the angle here. And the Javelins are almost entirely out. Okay, you two, sorry, this unit and this unit still have a couple of Javelins. I'm wondering if we reposition them over here, they might be able to get those committed. But yeah, mostly we've won this. Okay, he seems to be able to find the angle. There we go. Yep, there it is. Okay, that should make that work pretty quickly. We've got a lot of Chaos dudes just sort of breaking and fleeing. You. Chaos Lord. Oh, they're going to give up before the Carnosaur even gets to him. Well, far be it from me to let that stop me. You got him. You got him. Oh, Jesus. He's actually, like, he's in remarkably good shape. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Yeah, dinosaurs just chasing the Chaos Warriors off over the sunset. That was fun. That was a fun little change of pace. And I feel very confident that Krepus's army is in a good position to handle these Chaos dudes. One of those units of Chaos Knights didn't actually take any damage before the battle ended. So you can see Croxagores, they were in melee combat with those Chaos Knights for a while, and they were trading at a reasonable rate. 1 in 5 to 4 in 5 kills. The Croxagores had help, of course, but it's worth noting that, like, there's only 16 units in a unit, or 16 figures in a unit of Croxagores, so this 1 in 5, those 6 kills are worth a lot more than the 9 kills of Chaos Knights, considering that a Chaos Knight unit has 60 horsemen in it, or something like that. Okay, well, I wish we had enough movement to chase them here. Let's get you... You know, if he's potentially going to have to fight Chaos armies, one of the most dangerous things that can happen is a bunch of Chaos armies blobbing up together. Let's grab Lightning Strike. Okay. We'll have to finish dealing with them next turn, sadly. Alright, let's do one more sequence of enemy turns here, and hopefully this will be the moment that the dwarves come around. But we're just going to keep stockpiling gold and offering it all to them until they do. Tiktaq'to's army is almost back to full health. I'm wondering if when he is at full health, we just go on the vampires. We're missing the window for the easy attack up here, but I think we're powerful enough, and I expect us to do well enough against the vampire armies that we don't need that easy attack where, like, Carrick Cadron's garrison is still damaged because the vampires just took it over and this army's weak. Tiktaq'to will manage. He will find a way. We need the bargaining chip with the dwarves more. Although I am surprised to see it might not even be working as a bargaining chip at this point because of the fact that they only have a moderate chance of accepting my offer of joining the war. It seems very strange. So the vampires, remember, have no ranged units. They don't even have artillery or anything. They do have wizards, so they will be able to cast spells on our flying units, and they do have flying units of their own. So we have to watch out for those army compositions that have flying melee units. They could just go over and kill the pterodons. Tiktaq'to's army is a little bit less vulnerable to it, because you have Tiktaq'to himself, who is a pretty good flying combatant. He has that unit of Ripperdactyls that can run interference, and we don't usually, but we could put our flying skink hero into melee mode, and he would be perfectly effective. He even has all the melee buffs now. So even if we do get jumped by a bunch of Vargeists or something, I think we probably can stay safe. And I don't believe none of the vampire flying units are heavily armored or anything, so the Fire Leech Bolas should be quite effective against them. Although we may want to use the normal Pterodon Riders for that, just so that we don't end up killing our own Ripperdactyls. We also definitely, I'm considering putting our skink hero back on his Engine of the Gods Stegodon, because holy crap, Engine of the Gods is a ridiculously powerful thing. I don't remember if the spell is called that as well. Whatever that spell is that the Engine of the Gods gives you is a ridiculously powerful thing. I imagine that the Chaos Warriors have just never seen a thing like that before, so they were caught off guard a little bit. Okay. I think the Puppets of Chaos are they're running low on things to do. You can see there's a lot of stuff over here that is not owned. But we finished invigorating our sources. Okay, win 4 battles for 4 Blessed Fire Leech Bola Riders. Remember, the biggest difference with the Blessed Fire Leech Riders is that they have way more ammunition, so I have strong feelings about this. The good news is, we are guaranteed to win 4 battles in the next 20 turns. It's going to happen. Oh, hey, and then the Doomtide again. That also is just going to keep happening. Alright, so we have some more chaos fighting in our future. Real quickly here, before we end the episode, of course, let's do our standard check-in with these guys. I will join your war. I will give you all of my money. And in exchange... No? What if I take the war off the table? Okay. I was wondering if maybe it being only moderate, it was actually weighing the deal down. But no, the dwarves are just resistant to the idea of having the most powerful ally in the world. It doesn't make any sense, but it certainly is making our game harder, so I guess they've got that. There's a point at which it becomes more profitable for us to just turn on the dwarves and kill them and take all their stuff, and take all of the southern Badlands by force. I don't know if we're getting close to that point, but it definitely is a real thing that exists and that we have to consider if they're not ever going to take our offer of friendship. I really didn't think it was going to take anywhere near this long. Oh hey, he finished recruiting. Cool. Let's set him back in normal move mode. He probably finished recruiting like a turn or two ago, but it doesn't ask you to give orders to units that are in encampment stance, so I forgot to go check. Alright, well that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. Apparently, there's a lot more chaos dudes to fight off of our shores. That ought to be fun. And we'll see you then.